If you have been waiting for more news about the upcoming 2021 Nissan Frontier midsize pickup truck, well, we have another glimpse at this very popular midsizer. Nissan just recently published a video they call Nissan Next from A to Z, which shows their global picture of their upcoming vehicles. So in this video, I'm going to show you the video they published, and within it hides at least 2 looks at the upcoming Nissan Frontier. So let's check it out. This video is pretty short, but we're learning a lot from this particular film that they published. It all starts with A, and this is their upcoming electric crossover, but this is not about that. All right, let's keep moving. All right, there you see the Armada, and it has the latest front end. It's also the Nissan Patrol overseas. So you got to remember, this particular video is not just about United States vehicles. It's also about what's happening globally for Nissan. And Nissan is in the middle of a big redesign, big push for new crossovers, trucks, SUVs, and even sports cars, which you will see at the end of this video as well. So here's, once again, another look at the Nissan Armada and Patrol. So let's keep playing. Boom. Now the background says F, and we have to assume that means Frontier. And here you see a silhouette, and this is a very boxy silhouette of a truck. And what we think this is a look at the next 2021 Nissan Frontier. We can see very clearly the LED signature lights, and this is very similar to a leaked image that we recently received from Nissan Nation podcast. Let me quickly show you that image. This is on tfltruck.com, and Nissan Nation Productions sent us this image, which was an early kind of a concept rendering of the upcoming Nismo version of the 2021 Nissan Frontier. So here it is. Once again, you can see that LED signature right here in this rendering as well. Although the fenders are really much bigger in this particular rendering than what appears to be the case on that silhouette that we see in this latest video from Nissan officially. So let's go back to the video. Let's keep rolling it just a little bit further. And another thing I'm noticing is that this Frontier looks bigger. And from standpoint of the wheelbase, if you can see kind of how the wheelbase transitions from the front to the rear, the cabin, the overall cabin in the rear, this is a crew cab, and the rear seat space looks to be much bigger, and it still appears to be like a 5-foot bed, which is very standard for midsize trucks. Anything from Toyota Tacoma, of course Jeep Gladiator, Ford Ranger, Chevy Colorado, GMC Canyon, all of them have, in a crew cab configuration, they all have a 5-foot bed. So I'm expecting the next Frontier to actually have a very similar bed option, but the cabin looks to be growing just a little bit. And Nissan is saying that this truck is specifically meant for the North American market, specifically for the US. And with anything, these trucks are growing in size. So let's keep rolling a little bit more. Of course, there's some other cars. There's a Murano, upcoming crossover. Here's another pickup truck. It's under N, and this is a Navara truck that's available overseas. You can kind of see it with the roof rails right there above the cab. But you could see, I hope you can see, when you stack them next to each other, that the Navara cab is a little bit shorter in the proportion. So at least to my eye, I can kind of tell the size difference here. All right, let's keep rolling because we have another glimpse coming up of the new Frontier truck. Of course, they also have the Pathfinder and a couple of other looks, and it all goes to the final shot, which is the new version of the Z sports car, which a lot of enthusiasts of sports cars are excited about. So let's continue a little bit to this next view. You could see a very clear shot of the Z car, and it's joining this parade of other crossovers and cars. And in this shot particular, we see a front view of all the vehicles coming towards us. And I'm going to freeze frame just a little bit and show you again, focusing on the trucks. If you go into here on the left-hand side, you can see on this side there's a Navara truck. You could see the roof rack rails, and over here you see what appears to be the next Frontier, the 2021 version. And we do know officially that it will have the new 3.8 liter gas V6 engine. They just unveiled this engine recently in the 2020 Nissan Frontier, which has been on the market for a very long time, since about 2005 model year. But the engine is all new. It's now made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And so we know that Nissan is meaning for that engine, the 3.8 liter, this all new gas engine, to be in this new truck. It just is going to be wrapped in an entire new sheet metal, probably updated chassis. It's been about, what, 15 years. So it's time to do a thorough all new truck. And I think you might agree with me, this Frontier truck appears, even though it's kind of a side 3/4 view, and when you compare it to the Navara truck, the Frontier looks quite a bit bigger. Once again, big bulging fenders. So maybe it's very similar to that concept drawing that I just showed you. And once again, crew cab, and you can see a lot of glass, the big windshield and big side windows and the mirrors. Of course, they have to make this truck competitive. It not only, in my opinion, should have the new V6 engine. Eventually, I think it should have some other technology to make it even more efficient, although they increased the efficiency by about 10% in their new 3.8 liter when you compare it to the outgoing 4 liter V6. But they need to do something more on the powertrains, potentially. They also have to compete on payload and towing, which means at least 1,500 pounds of payload for the base versions of the Frontier truck, and around 7,500 pounds of maximum towing. And the Frontier has always been a great towing truck. We've tested it time and time again on the iGauntlet World's Toughest Towing Test. No matter what trailer we hook up to it, if it weighs 6,000 pounds or 6,500 pounds, the older Frontier truck always delivered, always towed with confidence. And of course, it wasn't very efficient before, but they're making it more so. You can also see a kind of a rectangular grille. It looks a little bit more macho, a little bit more in your face. I like that because obviously it has tough competition. The best-selling truck is still the Toyota Tacoma. They're still selling nearly 20,000 trucks per month, which is pretty huge numbers. And of course, number 2 truck on popularity as far as sales is the Chevy Colorado, very closely followed by the Ford Ranger, which is a new entry from 2019 into this market. And then of course there's the Nissan Frontier, Jeep Gladiator, GMC Canyon, and also Honda Ridgeline is in this space as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. We don't get to learn a lot of information from these kind of 2 views, the profile image and this front shot, but it's the best shot we have. Also good to see that ground clearance appears to be plentiful on this Frontier truck. This could be the Pro 4X and the rumored Nismo version of the Frontier, although historically the Nismo name is also been applied to sports cars and special track version of their cars. They also have some Nismo trucks from about 15 years ago, but most recently the Pro 4X has been the off-road name for their trucks, especially the Warrior name. That's the Warrior concept from a while ago. So I don't know, some people say the rumor is that the Nismo Frontier will appear in its most kind of off-road worthy or high-performance version. I hope so. I hope they do a high-performance version that more compares to like a Ford Ranger Raptor, something with a wide stance, really sophisticated suspension, really trick shocks, and really powerful engine option as well. So I hope that's the case. Of course, they have a lot of power in this V6, 310 horses, 281 pound-feet of torque, and a 9-speed automatic. But to make it a special truck, it needs to be more powerful. So I think offering choice will be key, even though I know Nissan is trying to pare it down and make it simpler and easier to buy their vehicles. So guys, go back to tfltruck.com. We have all the information on the website on this truck, and of course every other truck, an upcoming truck like also the Ram Rebel TRX. Thank you.